Hi everybody, my name is Mara and I am going to be telling you a story that I heard when I was a little girl and I lived in Kenya. And it's a story about two best friends. Now I wonder if any of you has got a best friend or perhaps somebody that you just really, really love. Have you got one of those? Well, the first friend in my story is Chicken. And Chicken's best friend, the person that she loved more than anybody else, was Eagle. And every single morning, Eagle would spread her wings and she would fly down from her nest at the top of the tallest trees, and she would spend the whole day with her best friend Chicken. They did all kinds of things together. And if I was to ask you what sort of things that you did with your friends, well, I'm sure that you would have a lot to tell me too. You'd play games, wouldn't you? Games like, well, they played hide and seek, they played tag, they played all sorts of things. Whenever they were hungry, they would eat together. Whenever they were thirsty, they would drink together. And when they were finally so tired after all the things that they had done, well, they would fall asleep and they would snooze and dream and snore together. They loved each other. But there was something very, very special about Eagle. Whenever she flew across the bright blue sky, everybody who saw her went, "Wow!" And the reason that they all went, "Wow!" was because Eagle's feathers were the most beautiful, colourful feathers that you could imagine. If you think about your favourite colour and how it makes you feel, well, Eagle had all of those colours, pink and green and orange and yellow and red and black and gold and silver and turquoise and cyan and all kinds of colours. She was beautiful. And Chicken, well, even though she did love her friend very, very much, sometimes she did think, oh, I wish that I had just one interesting colour. I wish that people thought that I was beautiful too. And so she decided to ask her best friend how she became so colourful. But Eagle, she said something that she should never, ever have said. She said, "I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret." Well, if you can imagine that your best friend keeps a secret from you, would you be happy? Well, no, Chicken wasn't happy either. And she began to pester Eagle. She harassed Eagle. She begged Eagle, "Please, please, please tell me your secret. I swear I won't tell anybody else. I promise it will just be between you and me." But no matter how many times she asked, the answer was always the same. No. 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 Until one day, Eagle had had enough. Chicken was on at her all the time. "I'll do anything that you want. Please, I'm your best friend. You have to do this for me." And finally she said, "Okay, I will tell you my secret, but you are not allowed to tell anybody else." And of course, Chicken agreed. So Eagle, she looked around and nobody was watching. And so she lifted up her wing and boom, she pulled out a needle. This is no ordinary needle. It's a magic needle. And whenever I see a rainbow high up in the sky, I take my magic needle and I fly up, 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 up. And when I reach the rainbow, I can catch as many colours as I like. And I come back home and stitch them onto my feathers. And that is why I look so colourful. And then she took her magic needle and boop, she put it safely back underneath her wing. But now that Chicken knew the secret, well, what do you think Chicken wanted? You're right. She wanted that needle. "Oh, please, Eagle, I'm your best friend. I don't suppose you'd mind if I borrowed it just for a few days." And Eagle said, "No." "What? But I'm your best friend. Oh, please, I beg you, I'll do I tell you anything at all? No. And the answer was always the same. No, 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 no. Until one day, Eagle was so frustrated. She was so tired of the same old question being asked that finally she agreed. She sat there in front of Chicken and she said, Chicken, I'm going to lend you my needle for 1 day only. You are not allowed to scratch it. You are not allowed to bend the tip. And you are definitely not allowed to break my needle in two. I want my needle back in exactly the same condition that I give it to you. And if anything happens to my needle, then our friendship is over. Well, what do you think Chicken did? Do you think she'd agree? Yeah, she did. She was so excited. Oh, yes. Oh, Eagle, I promise I will take such good care of your needle. I will guard it with my life. And so Eagle, reluctantly, she lifted up her wing and she pulled out the needle and she slowly handed it over to Chicken. And Chicken, she was so excited and she reached out and she grabbed it. And she quickly and safely put it underneath her wing. An eagle reminded her just before she flew back up to her nest in the top of the trees, if anything happens to my needle, our friendship is over. And whoosh, she was gone. But Chicken had the needle. You cannot imagine a happier Chicken. She was so happy, so excited. She had a great big smile. She felt light as a feather and she gathered her tiny little baby chicks because she knew exactly where she was going. Now, do you think that Chicken was planning on flying up to the rainbow? No, of course not. And why not? Yeah, chickens can't fly. However, she knew where there was a place deep in the forest behind her house, and it was a place where there were no trees. And because there were no trees, it meant that the sun could shine down, the rain could trickle down, and right there at the bottom of this lovely shard of light, there were the most beautiful, colourful, wonderful flowers of every shape and size that you could imagine. So that is where she was heading. She gathered her babies and off they went into the forest. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Oh, they were so happy, so excited. Oh, they couldn't wait. And the chicks loved this little adventure. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. Pakatang, pakatang, pakatang. However, after a whole hour of walking, well, the chicks were exhausted. They were sweaty and their feathers were sticking to them. Their legs were tired because their legs were only tiny and short. And they started to complain, oh, are we nearly there yet? Oh, are we nearly there yet? Oh, please, Mummy, are we nearly there yet? And Chicken knew that she couldn't slow down. She couldn't stop and rest because she needed to get into the middle of the forest and back out again and home before it became dark. Because all kinds of things come out at night, don't they? I bet you can imagine all those strange sounds that she might hear. Oh, do it, do. Zombies and teenagers come out at night too. And so she said to her little chicks, I'm sorry, chicks, we have to keep moving. And so they did. And after another hour of walking, well, suddenly there was the most delicious smell. Oh, it smelt of caramel and coconut and candy floss and fudge and vanilla ice cream and maybe even some mint chocolate ice cream. Oh, can you imagine the most delicious smell in the world? What do you think that they could smell? Oh, they breathed in deeply, they inhaled it, and Chicken, well, she peered over to see where the smell was coming from. And right there, just in front of her, were the flowers. They had arrived. She was so pleased. She thought to herself, not only am I going to look fantastic, I am going to smell delicious too. Oh, she couldn't wait. They raced over to the flowers, and there they were in all their glory, every single color of the rainbow. And Chicken was so excited, she started to dance. Oh, she was shaking it to the right, she was shaking it to the left, she was twirling, spinning round and round, jumping up and down. She was so happy, and the chicks, well, they joined in too. Oh, what a wonderful time they were having, until finally Chicken was ready. She reached underneath her wing. Huh? Oh no! Oh no! The needle wasn't there. She searched everywhere. She looked behind the trees and underneath the bushes. She checked under the fallen leaves. She searched among the flowers. She asked her chicks to spread out and find that needle. We can't go home without it. And the little chicks, well, they were off scratching around, pecking, lifting up bits of moss, moving the twigs from side to side. They searched for over an hour, and do you think they found the needle? No, they didn't. It was nowhere to be seen. And Chicken, she looked up, and she could see that the sun was moving quickly across the sky, and she knew that she had to get her chicks to safety. And so slowly and sadly, she turned around and she started to head back home. Oh, that night, she could hardly sleep. She tossed and she turned and she dreamt that she found the needle, and she woke up and it was all just a dream. And in the morning, whoosh, Eagle flew down from her nest at the top of the trees. And she was surprised to see Chicken looking exactly the same as she always looked. Maybe Chicken has changed her mind. Chicken, where is my needle? I put it under my wing, nice and safe, and then I gathered my chicks and we went into the forest, where the flowers grow. Chicken, where is my needle? Well, we were walking and walking for ages and hours, and they were getting really tired. You know how small they are. Chicken, where is my needle? Well, we walked and suddenly there was this wonderful smell of caramel and candy floss and vanilla ice cream and all the stuff that we really like, and it was wonderful. Chicken, where is my needle? I don't know. I couldn't find it. I reached under my wing and it wasn't there, and we were looking around. What? I told you not to scratch it. I told you not to bend the tip. I told you not to break my needle in two. Are you telling me that you have lost it? I'm sure I'll be able to find it. I'm sure it's there somewhere. Chicken, I warned you. I told you if anything happened to my needle, then our friendship would be over. And from this moment, it is. And whoosh! With that, Eagle flew back up to her nest at the top of the trees. Oh, poor Chicken. She couldn't believe it. She was so upset. She was miserable for 3 whole days. And she thought about how much she missed all the giggles that they used to have. She missed all the laughter, the great big belly laughs that had them rolling on the floor. She missed all her cuddles. She missed her friend, and she needed to get her best friend back. And there was only one way to do that. And I'm sure that you know what she had to do. Yeah, she had to find that needle. And so, no matter where you are in the world today, whether you're in Ireland, whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in China or Russia or France or, well, can you think of any other countries? No? Well, any country in the world, if you go, you will see chickens. And if you have a good look, you'll see that they are scratching the ground. And a lot of people think that they're looking for food. But you and I, we know better, don't we?